Pleased to represent the program 3 today, and this is themed around value-adding foods, which was the working title years and years ago. But these days, food product innovation, processing, and packaging technology, supporting provenance and nutrition. And if I can work out how to close that little window, that'll be probably useful, because otherwise you'd be all looking at yourselves. The program, as we're halfway through now, we have 25 active projects and 6 that are completed. And if I can just have a moment of indulgence and reminiscence, I've just come from a lunch in the Mandurah area. So I'm currently at the Food Innovation Precinct in the Shire of Murray. And the lunch I was at today was at the Boundary Island Brew Pub, which is this magnificent new building, shiny bright work, and a big smokehouse out the back for meats and everything. And it was just fabulous. And as I'm looking at it, I'm thinking, I think I've been here before. And the last time I was there, the place was actually closed, and it was a disused function centre. And it was the venue for the very, very first meeting that we had in Western Australia for this CRC, even before the bid had gone in. And we were assembling it. And I remember sitting there and thinking, wow, all of the sort of ghosts of the past were there. I think Mark McHenry, I was talking to him, and he was at that event. And it was just so, I think the metaphor is incredible to have been in a place that was effectively closed down and abandoned. We used it because we could have access to the kitchen to put on a rather special meal, to this incredibly vibrant homage to food there today. Really tracks the same journey of the CRC 5 or 6 years later from there. And so in our theme 3, if you look at the 25 projects and those that have been completed, they really divide into 3 areas, and 2 of them we're going to highlight today. And because all CRCs are industry-led, the research agenda comes from industry, supported by university, and then the negotiation happens about, okay, how do we bring value depending on where we are along that spectrum? So we have agricultural projects in value adding of food that are driven literally by farmers in some cases. We have manufacturing projects that come from industry, whether it's a food manufacturing or a startup or someone, again, in that transformational area of ingredients to food. And we have 2 examples of that today being discussed, one on atmospheric freeze drying, and then also a couple of words that I'm going to say about the SIFT project, and then one of the case studies from here. And then thirdly, which we don't have represented today, but is a vibrant area in program 3, is really health-driven value-added foods, where we're looking at diet, specific interventions of foods, ingredients, and claims. And across those sort of 3 areas, they form what really has become a very coherent theme that is, I think, delivering enormous value and represents, you know, almost half the projects, active projects at the moment. So excited to see them coming along. So I'm just going to briefly speak about one of them, which is the SIFT project, and then a subsidiary of that, which is one of the case studies. So SIFT, which is where we are today, is a landmark research project in Western Australia, supported by the state government at the Food Innovation Precinct, where effectively $12 million of state money is being spent to build a common user food factory that is mightily supported by the CRC, both in terms of expertise, knowledge, and management, as well as additional cash leveraging that large state contribution. And what we've been able to build is a facility that fits a market gap in Western Australia, where businesses who are wanting to grow in the food production space really can get a dark kitchen or a few hours at a restaurant after hours or whatever, or they need to effectively go to the eastern states because there's almost no toll production capacity in Western Australia. So the state government, in its wisdom, supported this at a last election and has enabled this to be built here at this facility. And you can see the floor plan here, which is an actual entity now and alive and working hard. And one of the pieces of kit that's installed and commissioned, and we can take some questions on this if need be, is high pressure pasteurization. And I think both because it was identified as an area of need and industry demand to begin with. It's one of the first pieces commissioned and was high on our priority list to get up and going. And already the first 3 commercial tenants of the building are all using this technology. And there's just one of them that I want to speak about now, because I think it's a really good story about how a small enterprise can take advantage of this facility. And that's Bravo Gazpacho. And I'm pleased to announce today, for the first time, so this is hasn't been mentioned before publicly, that a small company out of Geraldton, which is a town 5 or 6 hours north of Perth, are now producing their gazpacho soup at SIFT using the high pressure pasteurization, which has meant that they've gone from a product with a shelf life of 5 days, effectively, to something which now has already been tested at past 30 and hopefully will get to 100, which completely changes how they do the sales of that product and their supply chain management. Sonia, who is the founder of the company, is the most passionate Spanish woman living in Australia. And her story is that she moved to this town of Geraldton and noticed that they grew tomatoes and capsicums and cucumbers in that region. And guess what? Those are the 3 principal ingredients of gazpacho. And they said, well, there's no gazpacho here. I've got all the ingredients. Maybe I'll start doing that. And I've got a note there from James to me, which I've now put up on the screen for everybody to see because I'm sharing the screen, is that they're actually a member of one of the clusters in that area. And just talking with Sonia yesterday, just what a dramatic change this technology will mean for her business and will enable her to scale without having to commit those millions of dollars herself for the kit and equipment. And I think it's a poster child, which I guess is why I'm using it today, for the kinds of companies that would really value having this facility. And it's thanks to the CRC, the government, and the university for being able to make this available. Interestingly, the research project of SIFT, though, is larger than the customers that use it. It is also an economic development research program as well, where we're looking at what is the difference that's made by having such a facility in a precinct like this dedicated to food innovation, and can that make a difference to the region in terms of the kinds of businesses that are attracted here and grow here. And wearing my former hat as the chair of the Peel Development Commission, it was a big part of the reason why the Commission was so excited about this CRC and this project, because of what we believed would happen in the region. And I'm just going to finish by sharing a photo. There we are. Taken yesterday at this business park. So this is probably 200 meters from where we're sitting today. And this is Arista, the global bakery company, who nearly finished their pad work, and I think will be getting to pouring concrete very soon for what will be a $70 million state-of-the-art bakery facility. And that is here because we are here. And I think that clustering and the idea of the expertise, the capacity building, and the R&D were all major factors in Arista making the decision to site their facility in this precinct. So again, from a research point of view, we can already say here's an N of one business spending $70 million and will employ about 90 people that I don't think would be happening here if it weren't for the SIFT project and the Food Innovation Precinct.